back to Basics, live on Bethan TV for Health. You're very much welcome indeed. We are very much excited, as usual, to always tune in and be with you as we discuss life issues. And this evening, I'm happy to welcome Paul Walia. Paul Walia, you're very much welcome.
Thank you, Moses.
Yes, Paul Walia is this year already, he qualifies to be a regular. Because at least I've met him twice.
Yeah, sure, twice already.
Twice?
Yeah, because I remember on the 2nd I was here, and last Tuesday I was also here.
You're
this
also
week,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, so this year, in the 10 days into the new year, we have at least made more than 2 times.
Exactly.
This is the 3rd time,
exactly.
So that is very interesting, and we always appreciate to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, we are still discussing the stages of development in childhood. As I already say, that it's very important to clearly understand and grasp and have some knowledge on how we can intentionally raise our children, because that's where the rubber meets the road. Very, very important to get everything, have that knowledge, and be intentional in whatever we do in order to raise our children. And also we belong to this category where they say these are planned kids. It's not all about money, but it's also about the knowledge and the opportunities you expose to your children. That's why we are back to basics, and that's why Back to Basics is a hot a platform that we use to discuss such topics. Bethan TV for Health is available for you on the mainstream GoTV, free to air, but also Star Times. You can also join us on different mobile applications, YoTV, Airtel TV, and also we are available on different socials, X, but also YouTube, streaming live. And you can, on any device, wherever you are, you can log in, subscribe to Bethan Television Uganda, and be part of Bethan TV programs. Chakabi, it's very interesting, because what we bring to you touches the health of your children, your family, and people around you. And we all live in a healthy country. Very much welcome. Like I said, Paul Walia is here with me, and very much delighted again tell you what we are going to discuss in the stages of growth and development in childhood. But before that, I take this pleasure and opportune moment to welcome Paul, and also him to greet the viewers who are always ready to listen to him. Paul, you're very much welcome.
Thank you so much, Moses. It is, as we said, it's another chance for me to be here and also make my impact onto the world. I like it so much when people call and say, we learned this from you, we didn't know this, but also, I mean, feedback would be a very good thing. So I appreciate all the people who call me and give me feedback about what we've been discussing in the day, in the week. I want to also appreciate people who spare time to come and watch. I know it's helping the world, but also it's also good to know that someone out there is listening to you. So it's a very good gesture, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much, because when you get this knowledge, I know you share it out with other people, and those people also will share. And in a short while or in a long while, the world will be having a different look of things. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. And we really do appreciate, because if you, research has it that children and people in adulthood suffer some of the things that are experienced when they are young, in the childhood stages. And I remember previously when we were discussing the first few stages, you say that you'll find a stage lasts for like 1 to 3 years, which sounds like a very short period. But the impact has a long life influence on one's behavior, on one's character, on one's growth and development, and whatever like future the person is having. So it's very important, like you say, to get it right first time, and this is when we are actually growing up. So last time we met, you took us onto the stages of growth and development in children and childhood.
Yes, childhood.
And we covered stage 1 and the stage 2. Just a recap, the first stage was?
The first stage was trust versus mistrust.
trust versus
mistrust, which we said, maybe just to get those people who have just joined us today, we are discussing, or we are trying to show how the individual, how the environment or the society impacts onto the individual's thoughts, minds, and how we behave. These stages of development are meant that to see how, where we've grown up from, how that environment is going to impact on how we think, how we do things, how we feel, you know, all the things are there. So that's why the proponent of these stages, the founder or the maker of these stages, call them the psychosocial, the individual psyche, and in relation to the society or the environment where he is. So how do those things connect? No, so that's why. So he looked at the first stage. He looked at how we come from the womb and we get into the world, because we're in the womb where you've been alone or two, depending on what's there. Then that place where you've been with a lot of comfort, with a lot of good whatever. Then you get into the world that has a lot of demands that will need you one time, because the weather will change. Temperatures will change. In the womb, you don't need a blanket, you don't need a sweater, you don't need anything. But you go out and then you find that the cold will ask you to get a sweater, get a heavy shirt, get a heavy trouser, get something. And the fact that you cannot do it by yourself, you're depending onto the people in the society, the people in the world, the people in the environment. So these people here, if they're able to be good and realize that this person needs this, then you'll appreciate and say, wow, I love these people. I really trust them. They are good to be good people. And that's why you say we start building our hope in the world. So from that stage, and of course the contrary, the other flip of the side, it will make you feel these people are not good people. If you felt the demands that you need as a child are not met, you're hungry and you're crying and nobody is coming to listen to you. You've spoiled your pampers and nobody is coming to help you clean them up or take them off you. You find that this world is inside you. You start thinking. You start, why is this world like this? Why are people not really helping? Why am I feeling this way? No, and you're crying. You're looking at either the mother, the caretaker, your brother, your father, and you're not really caring about that. So you find that this is going to cause you feel, I don't like this world.
I can't trust the people in this world.
So many times you'll feel, I'll do things by myself. I'll be there by my own self, you know. So I only do because it's me, I can, you know, something of that sort. So that is there. Then we go to the first one, the first stage. We go to the second stage, which was shame.
Doubts, and versus autonomy.
Autonomy versus shame and doubt. So in that stage where we want to start, because now we've grown up a little bit, we've gotten a little energy, we've developed some skills like walking, we've developed some skills like identifying my mother, identifying my father, identifying this person, maybe my sibling, my this, maybe mentioning some of their names, you know. So we want to try out some things using this little energy we have as children. Because the other one we said is from birth. The first one is from birth to about 1.5 years. Other people will say 1 year. It's okay. Don't crucify yourself because of time.
There's no clear cut.
It varies. There's no clear cut like
demarcation
of demarcation. So this one starts from about 1.5 to about 3 years. So in that time, someone is trying. If he has not well developed his language of his speaking, he's trying to make it okay. He's trying to. So he has a little energy that he has built in his body that he wants now to start using. So he starts making simple projects. I call them simple, small projects. Like, I want to dress my own shoe. I want to put on my own shirt. And I want to feel, yes, I'm there, you know. I put on my shirt and I like to show my mother I'm the one who dressed this. You know, those are things that make them excited. I've done this myself. So if we shut them down, if we say, stop, don't do that, we don't give them the environment or the space to do that, to practice that, or we make them feel I'm useless when I did this. So it makes them feel that kind of shame. And I'm not able to do this, even this. I'm trying to use my energy, but I'm not able to do this, you know, Moses. So it makes them get that kind of shame. I cannot try to do this. Then also, whenever he does it and you start backing at them, you start making them feel you're not worthy doing this, you're too young to do this, you know, it makes them always, whenever that comes, they feel that guilt. Oh, when I do this, I spoil it, I'm going to, when I do this, I'm going to spoil it. When I do this, I'm going to spoil it. Now, it goes back to the words we use whenever we are correcting these people. It's good to correct them. Don't leave them because Paul said it's okay, they should try out. It's good to correct them, but how do you correct? And now, this is, your correction is how the society is interacting with this one is mind. You know, your leaving them is how the society is interacting with this person's mind. What it's making him think and feel about himself and about the society. That's why it comes psych, social. The psych and the society, the social bit. So you think, I'm good, I'm going to try it out. Yep. But society says, no, you don't have to try this out. Society, I mean, no matter even the family you're coming from, you know, even your teachers, even your kindergarten teachers, you know, Sunday school teachers, you know, those are the teachers who teach even at baby class. No, I mean, 0 age. Sunday school, you carry your child to Sunday school. You say you go with your sisters to Sunday school. So even Sunday school people are very, very vital in this knowledge. So now we've gone to initiative versus guilt. This person is now graduating from, this child is now graduating from simple project to a little mature project. I want to carry out a little mature projects that are going to make meaning in my life. I'm trying to say projects can be as small or as simple as I want to start cooking like my mother. I want to try out that cooking. My mother has been cooking every time. So I've seen her, I've always looked at her, observed how she's cooking. So today I want to go and try out. That's why you see, as you prepare your bigger meal for the family, they want to ask you for something small to prepare their own meals also, their own food. So they want to have their small saucepan, they want to have their small charcoal stove or cooker or whatever they can, or it can be something small, you know. They want, if you're people who prepare using banana leaves, they want to go and also cut these small banana leaves that have just started growing, even on the small what is it called? Stem of a banana or something like that sort. The small banana plants.
The banana plants.
You cut off from the big.
In vernacular.
Hey, what is it in vernacular? In Suksa.
Ensuksa.
I don't know, maybe something.
Echitoke.
Echitoke. Echitoke, echito.
In Uganda, echitoke, echito.
So they will do that.
Wakasanke.
They will do that because that is where they can.
That's where they can. Paul, just to come in there, is it where their imagination is at the highest? Like where they imagine things and start wanting to put them into play? Yes.
At that time, their imaginations, because they've seen what you've done in whatever you've done, your small projects. At that time, they are looking at you or the person in the society. No, they've seen mommy is cooking. So I can also try out something like mommy is doing.
Yes.
So it's trying to develop that kind of, it's trying to be so creative to also try do something for himself. He has seen daddy coming back home with his car, you know, with his car and he's driving. Okay, even mommy is driving nowadays, of course. But that's when they will start also trying to say, I'm going to get this box or this pint of milk. Instead of throwing it away, they'll go pick it from the rubbish pit and they will start making a car out of it.
Yes.
They're trying to be they're trying to develop that skill of being initiative. They will go and make a car out of that. They want to go and make their own balls at this time. At that young age, they want to make their own balls and they'll feel good if they made their own balls than even the balls they're going to buy from the supermarket. They'll play those ones and they'll bust them, they'll tear them.
Even something that resembles a ball, if they cannot.
Exactly.
Probably if it's, like these Christmas decorations, which are like balls.
Yeah.
When they get them, they would want to.
They want to, yes.
Yes.
Those things, you know.
Yes.
They're trying to create a mind. At that time, they're trying to use this mind to create something. At that time, they're trying to model how they can use what is in their mind to put it into reality. Now, at that time, you as a parent, listen carefully. You can kill this child at that time. I know there are some parents...
Not the physical killing.
Not the physical killing, but you can... Oh, sorry, thank you. No, you can destroy them. Yes. I should say that. Many children will want to go and play in the mud.
Yes.
They want to make people from the mud, clay. If they can't get real clay, they will get the dust around home and they want to get the people. They want to make people. Mommy is here, Dad is here. Yes. They have made him out of... They've modeled them out of the clay.
Yes.
Now, parents... here is a mistake that we do. Many times when you see this child is trying to do this, you say, stop playing in that. You throw away the things. You shout at them and you say, for them they're trying to create something. For you, you're calling it that and jams and all those things. Yeah, God protects them, even though. Now, we've resorted to paving every place. You find a person is in an apartment and it's all paved, concrete and all the things. So these kids want to go and
because
do
you want
something.
To protect.
You want to protect their feet.
In your mind, you're protecting and providing a very clean environment. Exactly. And you don't want your child to kind of play. Probably there's fear of accidents, hurting themselves.
And they do it because they love these kids. But when we do it, I know you do it for the love for the children, but on doing this, there's something we are killing in these children. There is something we are trying to stop from developing in these children. As they go in the rubbish pit to pick these pints of milk and blow them to make rubber bands and make their balls that they want to play,
yes.
It's okay. It's very okay. Let them be creative to that level. You want to go and buy them a Super Tere ball from the supermarket. Or you go buy them a tango ball from somewhere, That is what you bought, that's what you like. But there's something I want to develop as me. So creativity starts at that point. They're trying to be creative. But if you come and shut them down, beat them, this child is always going to get that kind of, I don't know, he has that feeling of whatever I touch, I think is not right for me to touch it. Whatever I try to do. So whenever they get that feeling, what I touch is not right to be touched. So they close their hands and they will sit back, wait for you to do. And I said in the first session that these things, as you brought it up, these things are for a short time, but the impact is long lasting. You find that this person is going to be like that. At workplace, I say, many times we have those CVs where I say, I'm creative. Where is this creativity coming from? That point. If the parent killed it, then you always wait for the boss to tell you, now we should take this car for washing. Now it is the time to clean this carpet. It is so dusty. Now it is time to draw the whatever. It's time to repaint the whatever. It's Christmas time. We should paint. We should maybe do something. You always want to be told. So parents, as we do this, it is very important to care for this child. Very important. I commend you for that. Many of them have really done it. And Ugandans, you've done that because I think one of the most businesses that is booming right now are pavers. We've done pavers so much. But can we create space for these children also to interact with nature and try to build whatever they're building?
That's what they're building.
We've really taken up cleanliness as something. It is very okay. But can we help them try to build this and say, this is out of my sweat. I don't know that I've ever gone to prepare a meal and you said this is a meal I'm eating out of my sweat. Men, I think you don't so much use the kitchen, but the day you go there and everybody's like, this breakfast has been prepared by Dad. You eat, you have it yourself with the family, but you feel, this is my sweat. Now that feeling you get is the feeling that this child has done and he has a ball, he's playing himself. This ball has been done by me. And I'm playing it. Even if he spoils it many times, I know of a certain child, they buy toy cars, but this box toy car he has done out of either which box that Daddy bought a small radio in, then he gets that box, he will care for that toy.
Because
And
it is his creation.
He's more attached to it. more than what you bought, what has been made in China, you know, and imported, you know. So he has more connection to this. So that connection makes them have the value. Now, one of the things that children have in this pie is, what is my purpose?
What is my purpose?
What is my purpose?
What is my purpose? So, Paul, yes, you've. This is a very crucial and fundamental stage. I think the way you've brought it and the way you've. I know someone out there is now maybe in a state of confusion. As parents, we need to provide safety, also a safe environment, as well as helping our kids grow. So some things you find that we are unconsciously doing things. In our hearts with good intention, but affecting them. But we'll continue to look at what are the long-term effects, especially when these kids, on both extremes, the positive and the negative, in their adulthood. But for now, we are going to take a very short break, and then we will come and continue with the discussion. Indeed, initiative versus guilt. The freedom, the environment you provide or you create for your child to experience or to put his or her imagination into practice can give him or her the power to manage his creations, which has a very long effect. Like Paul says for the break, the creativity. The reason why you find that at work we are different, there would be a staff who is appraised and the comments are he's highly creative. And then another one who is a hard-working person, but actually cannot think outside the box, as the term is. Some of these things may be not in our control, maybe things that came from our childhood. And that's very important when you get a chance to listen to some of these discussions. It's worth investing your time and foregoing that sleep and then watch this program. And it comes your way. It's our commitment as Bethan TV for Health to continue providing this platform that empowers us such that we also have planned kids. It's not all about money. It's about preparing your child to face the future. Very much welcome from that short break. And in the studio I have Paul. Paul is a clinical psychologist, and therefore he speaks from an expert point of view, as well as understanding our society, because he is a Ugandan and we are in the same society, Paul. So we are talking about initiative and guilt. And he has labored to explain. My question now goes to, after looking at all this, and what happens, you said it's between the ages of 3 and 5 or something?
3 and 5.
Yes, 3 and 5, around there, though there is no clear-cut demarcation of years.
Yeah, sure.
What do we see as the long-term impact of both extremes? From the child who has been given that freedom to explore all his or her imagination, and another one who has been restricted to do one or two things. What do we see as the effects or the impact as the child grows into semi or adulthood stage?
I'll not start further from where you pointed it out. One, let's go to, even from school, leave alone adulthood. There are people you will see and you find this person would want to try out. He's free to try out whatever he wants to, you know. I've seen some people like, I started with a friend of mine. Right now he's working, I think, with KCCA. I'm not, it's UNRWA. He's working with UNRWA. So that boy, one thing I liked about him, he would want to try out anything. And he will never feel like, I don't know. He will not feel guilty for him not knowing. You know, many times we feel, I don't want people to know, I don't know, you know. For him, he would speak in Luganda, you know. I used to play guitar in my high school. So he could say, Paul, you know, he would want to try out things. If you take him, any project that is new, you find him trying out. But there are others who will always, something has been brought, they will coil and go away. You know, they will coil and don't want to interact, not try out. You know that? Now that goes from that time throughout your life.
Actually, if I pick more examples from my experience, I was once a coach of volleyball and netball at a school called Immaculate Hearts. I know you're wondering. Yes, I'm a coach at some level.
Okay.
And you would, when you'd be going to select like a team or players, there would be those students who rush onto the pitch and you see they try out, and they may not be very good, but they have gone. So you find that if you're not careful, you end up going with those who have kind of showed the interest and quickly take the initiative maybe of like, I can't play netball. But then with time, you try to study and you see some of the girls that had the physique, and if you try to engage them, you see the art. And when you pick on them and encourage them and incorporate them in the team and the training, they actually make it to the first team than the other ones who. So it was the issue when you brought that of initiative, like for me, I can do this. And then another one is kind of withdrawn. Yes.
They have the skill, they have the knowledge, they have, but that, I'm looking for an English word, but that one of self-pushing. Self-being, say I can. Self-starter, you know, you can do it yourself. Sometimes it keeps lacking. And now many times, as you say, the society may term them not to be good in that. But it's not that they're not good, but they don't have that motivation to do it. But if they start doing it, they could even enjoy it.
Yes.
They can enjoy it, and you see, as you said, they first of all, they will fall back. Then when you identify them, you bring them and you find that they're on the first team.
Yes.
On the first high-class team.
Yeah.
Yeah, first team.
The first team, yes.
The first team. So, and they will do it even, actually, they will bring more points for the team. Yes. And they will do better than these ones. So that is something. So many times, we lose out opportunities. Can you imagine that one? If the coach has no that kind of third eye, or kind of getting into what can this person do even without doing it, you know, trying to look and read this person, then that person is gone.
Yeah, that person is gone.
He will die with his skill there.
The talent dies, and
what happens? They will want to use that skill somewhere else. Now instead of throwing the ball into the ring,
the ring, yes,
they want to throw stones onto the roof. They want to throw. I mean, that skill to satisfy it, you know. But it should have been done in some other place. So they want to use it somewhere else, which is a very bad thing. So let's try to always help children get that motivation, get that sense of desiring to know what is my purpose. What is my purpose of being there? And that, as I said, is not beginning at 20 years, 50 years in office. It begins at 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
And who starts it is the environment this child is living in at this time. That environment plays a big role in helping these children to realize that, or to build that in them, that I'm able to do this. It's not for the nobles, it's not for the first class student, but I can. It's not for the rural people, it's not for the urban people, but I can. It's me, it's there for me. You know, you've got them for drama. They'll say, oh, teacher, may I can. Then as they're there, you see they're struggling. Then maybe a teacher will say, okay, fine, maybe can you try this one else? No? Can you try this other thing? If drama has failed, you take them to sports. If sports has failed, you take them maybe to now music. If music has failed, you take them to somewhere, a debate. Try to help them find. Don't shut them. Don't shut them away.
Don't shut them. And then school is a very good starting point to where you can pick examples and everyone understand the school environment. This is where you find few students are participating in very many events because of their ability to step up. Even in class, is when they say, who can come and demonstrate this? Yeah. There will be a person to put up the arm first.
A volunteer.
A volunteer.
Who can lead us in prayer.
Yes, someone is already there. And then you find that these others, they know and they can and they're even better, but they are kind of withdrawn.
And now on that point, have you seen people, they will say, a volunteer should lead us in a prayer, in a meeting. board meeting, can a volunteer lead us in prayer? And others are quick at spotting a volunteer. The word is volunteer. Volunteer yourself, you know.
Yes.
You say, me, I'm going to lead.
Yes.
But they're quick at sending
Pointing
this.
another one. Yes, Paul.
Paul can do this. Moses can do this. How about you? No? Now that thing of trying, you remember, it is the other time that was killed. But not that they can do, is there a bad prayer? Not that they can do wrongly a prayer, but they just feel they can. And if you give them chance,
just have that guilt of like,
I'm
of
afraid
coming
of,
out. I'm
afraid of
I don't know.
doing it. I don't know because I will fail.
I will fail.
No?
Yes.
The guilt, I will fail. I'm afraid of this, you know. So, and if you give them chance, you find that they will do it well. Come and lead us in. Can someone lead us? I remember those things at the assembly. The always ask for a volunteer to lead us in the anthems. No, people have very, very good voices, but they will never go. You know, they will never go, and that does not end there. It goes up with you till they will say, we have a project. We want someone to manage this project, and you're there. No, we have a ministry. If the cabinet was saying, please, we have someone can volunteer to take this ministry. I don't know that would apply now, but maybe because of the motivation of the finance.
Because the motivation, where the motivation is money, and not from within. You will have a long line of
all the 40 million people, 50 million people will want to volunteer.
Yes, unless they say it's a free thing, no nothing. It's just then.
So that
but still, there would be those who would. You'd find there are those who are measuring, can I manage a ministry? Can I do this? And yet they are studied and educated. And then you find one who is not even as educated as them, jump away and say, no, me, I can't.
Exactly.
Then by the time you're like, hey, kari nange chun so.
How those words? Those are the words. Kari nange chun so. I also can, you know.
Kari nange musingo kumaiminga. Like at school, you'd find like someone is commenting afterwards. Or even students, they know, the other person is better, but he has not come up participating.
Exactly. So it is something that we parents have a big role to play. Now, as I always mentioned, society is not made up of the parents, father and mother only. Maids, brothers and sisters. Today it's holiday. The nieces and nephews who have come in this house, the uncles who are around, all those are the neighbors. Now this is a collective thing that if somebody is trying, a child has come to your home, is playing with your son or your daughter, and have come rushed into the house, you know, your house, you have a role to play in building this child. Who is going to be your leader tomorrow? Who is going to be your doctor tomorrow? Who is going to be your therapist tomorrow? If you don't do that, many people will already say, I don't care, this is not my child. Tomorrow you're going to the hospital and you find there is a need of a surgery, there is need of a clinical psychologist like Paul, and you find that nobody is able to come in. Because people, they've studied, they have the skill, but they cannot take that initiative to say, let me go and do this. Because the case is a little complicated for them. It's maybe unusual. Leave alone the word complicated. Maybe it's not a common case. So you find everybody is running away. And you who killed that skill, that killing of that skill is going to kill you today. So friends, as we look at this, don't give this role to the parents only. You have a role to play. And it's going to benefit you at one point. It may not benefit you directly, but it may benefit you in some other way, maybe through another channel. I've used the medical setting because that is where I am, but maybe other places. Have you seen people who want to, you're broken down, it's in the night, I've faced this, it's about 1, you're trying to do night driving to up country, like some of us always want to travel in the night, and your car's broken down, and the only mechanics that are there, they're like, eyo mazida, eyo kati benzi, sija kwata ku benzi. You know, but he's a mechanic who has been taught and he has the skills. Naye sija kwata ku benzi, because
I know that
fear. I know that competent. Now he has, if if unless somebody comes, that's when he's also going to come. When they get another mechanic from the nearby trading center, another trading center, so you also come and you'll be around. And you find that when he comes to see around what this mechanic is doing, he's going to direct the mechanic on what to do. Have you faced such a thing?
Because because for the skills he has, what he doesn't have is
that confidence, that kind of I am purposeful in this, I'm relevant in this, and so you get that motivation to do.
Let's continue to discuss the effects of this stage on things like business.
Business,
investment decisions, and as we progress into life.
Exactly. Now, I want to look at this. Business is full of decisions. I know, even thinking of a business, you take that decision to say, let me start it. Oh, I'll start it today. I'll start it tomorrow. Some people last year, as they're crossing over, they were like, resolutions of this time. Today I have to create a shop. And they're in the mind. Those shops are there and they're working in the mind. But there's a decision to take to start it on real ground.
And direct a shop.
Exactly, and plant that shop and start working in that shop, or get someone to work in that shop. So many times these people who are being shunned down, their decisions many times are always impaired. They're always affected. They don't take quick decisions. They need someone to support that decision before. No? Someone wants to marry and wants to be given, to be supported. No, you can take that wife,
And while you're there debating and contemplating, a sharp one comes and takes you. Like,
and then you start blaming God.
To see that girl.
And those are things that lead us into depression.
And you're like, maybe God, this wasn't.
Then we start bringing other things, and please stop putting God in these things. It's your own laziness,
Yes.
Sorry to use the word laziness,
but you see the laziness and pull sometimes, and I think that's what we are going into, and how we can support. First of all, how we can arrest and close the gaps when the children are growing, but also looking at, I'm already in that situation. And this is absolutely not my making, because by then I was a child. 3 to 5, and maybe my parents, either consciously or unconsciously, they didn't know, and I found myself in that. So we are there in that category, and I think as we conclude, we need to see what can we do.
Okay.
So as you're saying, like, yes, you're contemplating about the other girl, and yes, your friends, you have that, but you cannot take that initiative to approach and mention the word. Another sharp Paul
comes and snatches.
Who successfully passed the 3 to 5 in taking initiative, takes an initiative. If they say no, it's okay. And then you're like,
So many people are struggling with that. I have a story that people already say. They called him, I don't remember the name they called, but we know those young stories.
Yes.
He wanted to marry this girl, and when he went, instead of hitting the point of, I want to marry your daughter, he starts passing, meandering around, trying to dig for the people, and the sharp one comes like, oh, your daughter is beautiful, and he takes the daughter. You remember such stories, and then he goes for the next one, the Nakato, if they're twins, even that one is taken. So he gets aggressive and he wants to fight. I've been here, I've been digging for you this whole acre, and you've given out all the girls, but you didn't tell me what you wanted. I thought you were only having a good heart,
good heart, and
to do this,
and being a very good friend, and a caring friend,
exactly. And now many people are suffering like that gentleman in that story we used to have in our young school. That story teaches us a lot. Are we able to come and stand our ground and say, this is what I want, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is the decision I want to do? As we said, people have those thoughts and they want someone to push them in order to do them. You want to buy a car, but you have to wait for your father, your brother, your sister to come and support you in this. No, it's so good to buy a car. They give you 100 reasons. They give you reasons more than what you have. Not in order for you to do this. To start business, go to school. There are people who have seen they want to go back and study, but they can't. There are people who want to go and just correct something at work. He's feeling pain at work. They're finding he's being oppressed at work, but he cannot stand out to say this is this.
Offers to look for company.
Look for company. We have to go as a bandwagon.
Maybe a postgraduate. You have first to gather your friends. Can we take on this course?
He cannot do it alone.
Someone feels safe, like even Paul is doing the same. So do it.
Exactly. So you find that this is something, and if your friends I've not taken this. You feel you like it, but you don't have that confidence. So you still you battle with that conflict inside you always. You're battling with that conflict always. I want to do it, but I don't have the support. And what happens? These are the thoughts that are always going to push you. These people don't want me. These people don't want to take my decisions. Who did you come with in this company? Do it yourself and go on. So you find that these things that have been done, so many, will take you into a depressive point. Now I'm there because the people don't want me, because what and what, and you start, you're just there. People don't want me. When I tell them things, they don't want to follow my things. Why do you want to follow them to follow you? Because you've advised them and they don't. No, do it yourself. These are the points where we get feelings of depression, and it's affecting our mental health. 2, you've lost out on many things because you're not able to take the initiative and do it. Imagine a person we can use a very good example of this marriage. Today people are like, I'm looking for after university, I'm looking for a beautiful girl. So you see a beautiful girl in the neighborhood. The beautiful girl is there. You start contemplating, should I take a step or I shouldn't take a step? You take a step, a sharp one comes and takes that one. You swallow. You take another one, you look at the left neighborhood, there's another beautiful girl. You take contemplation, a sharp one takes.
You're waiting on God
to provide.
The right
you
one.
go to church, in the church choir, you join the church choir because you want to get someone, because when they sing, they look good. So you're there in the church choir, the Katena boy comes and the best boy comes and takes them. So at one time, you're all with these disappointments. I've tried out, but and you think you've tried out. You've not taken a step. And then these are going to sit into you. They're going to sit onto you, and depression is setting in. You're creating a very, very fertile ground for mental health issues, beginning with depression. And after that, you're going to always fear. This is going to increase on your anxiety. It's going to increase on your fear to do things. So many times, whenever something happens, even when a girl comes to approach you now, I'm using that term, even when a chance follows you, you send it away. These days girls are so sharp. They will come and tell you, man, let's start things. They will take the first move.
They may not tell you, but they can provide a conducive environment
for you to do this.
Waiting on you
to take a first step. So even when they provide a conducive environment,
you don't jump onto
the trap. They leave you back.
As we close, now that you're already in that category, in the adulthood, let's start at looking what can we do to help in that stage and support, and then we'll go back and conclude with what can the parents, guardians, and people who are surrounding the children in those years, what can they do to close those gaps?
So when you realize you're in that moment, one of the things I always want to start with is it's not your problem. It was then. And many times I always want to say, reflect back at that time. Many people may have a memory about that. So maybe my parents always were so tough. My parents were always this and this. You didn't make them tough. It's not your problem. So forgive yourself. Those ones who have this anger because I'm not able to do this, you get angry with yourself. So forgive yourself. Then start baby steps. I always call them baby steps. Look at the things you failed to do. And start with baby steps. If it is maybe starting up a business, if you're afraid of starting very big businesses, you can start with small businesses. You can also use the skill that I sometimes talk about of trying to say, look at the importance in this. Many times when they come to therapy, I tell them something like, look at the opportunities you're going to miss if you don't do this. Put yourself in a position that I'm going to lose billions of money if I don't take this step today. 3, procrastination is one of the what they call it, the theft of time. But also it takes away your courage always. Because if I procrastinate, if I'm supposed to start today, then I procrastinate, I'm like, I'll start it tomorrow. It is also stealing your courage and confidence. As you say, I know I'll do it tomorrow, it's going to take your confidence. Now, that is there. If you find that problem, please contact me. I always give my number, 0705 23 99 98. Going back to the parents.
The parents, yes.
Please, parents, it is okay for your children to try out. I know whatever they are going to spoil here is not going to kill the whole of their lives. It's good to protect them and look at the accidents and all those things, but give them chance to try out. put always a limit, put always a measure. If he's jumping, I know there are others who would want to jump over the flag to their side. That is not good. But if they're trying to make a step, he's trying to make a step, he has stood on the table and he wants to see how it feels to jump out. It's okay if you look at that. It's okay. The only thing, if it's what is going to do is going to break his leg, then you have to take caution, because it's you who's going to pay the bills and who's going to stay in the hospital. But please give them chance, especially when they're starting to model these things. Don't throw them away. When you throw those things away, you're killing these people so badly, emotionally and psychologically, and even their thinking capacity. Don't throw it away, because they're always going to just always put them in the right position. Say, now, if you want to play, play in this corner of the house. If you want to do this, do it in this corner of the house, or do it outside the house. I don't want dust inside the house. So that just help them get that timetable. Know that it's at maybe at 5, that's when we go out to play. Maybe after lunch, that's when we play. Help them master that timetable so that they don't clash with you. They don't go and start stepping onto your visitors because they want to play. Please do that. Make a schedule. Thank you so much.
Interesting. Very insightful discussions. I know we can go on and on, especially when it comes to parenting and helping and supporting these children. But most important is having the knowledge such that we are intentional in providing a conducive environment, supporting our children not to miss out and fail in some of these stages. It is for us parents and guardians and everyone surrounding these children to do that, such that we pave a very bright future for our children and the next generation. Thank you very much. This has been Back to Basics live on Bethan TV for Health, and thank you, Paul, for being part of this discussion and always giving time, and thank you our viewers, our listeners on different social media platforms, and also watching live on Bethan TV for Health. Thank you very much. This is very important, and this is Back to Basics. See you next time.